Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Trent Zyori podcast. This is episode number 155. We're back once again. Our little Twitch chat plugin is set to the wrong channel, so I'm going to update that real quick, and we'll be good to go. Trent, my lad, how you doing? Welcome back.
Hi.
Betway Midas Mode 2 in the books, and here we are, fresh, new season of DPC Dota before us.
Yeah, Midas mode happened. We did it. It ended. I didn't get to watch the end of it as I was away. I had to head back home a little bit early for the glory of China, and I heard China actually was quite fun, and the teams were really into it.
Yeah, they were at the beginning. It started really good for China, and then unfortunately ended on kind of a low note. One of the issues was the economy got a little bit messed up towards the end because we changed the numbers and added all that stuff in. So obviously, if you inflate the top, as that algorithm works itself out over more games, it all just gravitates down towards the middle and kind of averages out. So teams got to this point where it was difficult to draft the lineups they wanted. It was also hard with China because for the randoming, it was Twitch chat picks. And obviously, China isn't really pandering to Twitch chat. They've got their own platform and community that they're kind of pandering to. So it was a little tough. There were a lot of negotiations that had to take place to get everything to work out. But the Chinese teams did really embrace it. And it seemed like that first day, the strategy was pretty intense. They really went for the bounties. I mean, fucking hard.
Excellent. That's all we really want when it comes to a team in Midas mode, frankly. So.
Is that the goal?
As long as they're trying.
The bounties? Is that what we're aiming for? Just as long as we get some dope-ass bounties, we're good?
Isn't that the whole point? I don't know. That's Slax's whole point, I think.
I don't know. It was a genuine question. I have trouble
Maybe
keeping
that should
track.
have been a question that we knew the answer to.
Would have made making those bounties a lot easier, that's for sure. Trent, before we get too deep here, we got to give some love to Rivalry. They still make this podcast possible. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a Thunderdome open right now, but if you look below the Twitch stream, boys and girls, that's where you can get to this. And this is the fun stuff because for a lot of us, we live in a jurisdiction where we can't legally bet. America being a big one. Well, the Thunderdome's got your back, and I think there will be one opening up for this next DPC run, not the qualifiers, but the actual minor. So keep an eye out on it. You can win actual cash from this by making a free account and just making predictions. And a lot of them are just binary decisions. You just have to pick which team is going to win. If you get them all right, you could actually make some cash. I think one of them we saw somebody made like $100 because he was the only dude that got it right. Well, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at these things. I'm not even kidding. I'm really looking forward to the next Thunderdome because I want to do well. I really want to actually own one of these things.
I want to prove myself. I'm tired of going for upsets all the time. I want to actually make money.
I just want to be that one guy. I'm legitimately impressed that one dude got the last one.
Yeah, I mean, getting all of them is actually somewhat difficult, but of course, if you are in Canada or Europe or one of the other various jurisdictions that does accept betting, they've got you covered. Dota 2, CSGO, all your esports needs. They're a great group. They made the Jungle Jam possible. They've been supporting this podcast for a while. They take a lot of extra steps to make sure your money is safe, you're not getting taken advantage of, and everything's nice, fair, square, and legal. So if you're looking to place a couple of wagers.
They got all the Summit quals on too?
Yeah, there you go.
Got them all on there.
There you go, man. So, all right. Yeah, let's keep it on Midas mode. Let's make the first half of this Midas mode focused, and then
that's what the people are here for.
Yeah, we'll dive into whatever qualifiers, upcoming events, any other big topics that we want to jump into. I'll be honest, bud, I've been living in the Midas mode bubble for like the last month. It kind of feels good to come back to reality and just have some semblance of like a normal schedule and not have to wake up every day with that feeling of I've got more shit to do than I have time to do said shit. I've taken some nice rest time, and I'm going to California literally tonight. My birthday, just a couple days away. Well, a week away.
Close enough.
It's next Tuesday. I'm turning 30, dude.
30, the big 3-0.
I'm turning 30.
Wow.
And believe it or not, my dad, his birthday was early in October. He just turned 60. So we're doing a big family party, the big 6-0, the big 3-0. And my grandfather is also turning 80-something. I've lost track.
Wow, so this is a serious party.
It's a serious party, dude. It's a whole family shindig going to the, what is it, Palm Desert, wherever the hell it is. Where they do Coachella.
I love family shindigs.
Yeah.
You guys gonna play some washer toss?
I don't know what the fuck we're
Some
gonna do.
cornhole,
We're gonna relax.
barbecue.
They've got a pool, so I don't know if it's warm enough to swim in still over there, but
Nice,
maybe
nice.
we'll swim. And we'll probably barbecue, go out to a nice dinner. I just want to relax, dude. I'm just trying to unwind. I'm trying to talk about something other than Dota, business, and esports for a weekend.
Ooh. I do appreciate that about my outside Dota life because no one here gives a shit about esports. No one in my circle outside of the computer or events knows anything about what I do.
Yeah.
Because it makes my weekends, relaxing in that regard.
There's some value to that. I think I've talked about this in like the context of dating, where in some ways it's great to date someone that's not involved with esports at all because you get this hard break, like this natural reset when you're focused on gaming shit. But it's hard because gamers are fucking gamers, and if you're not a gamer, you don't really get it the same way the rest of us do. You don't get that, like, why would you want to just grind killing all these animals on World of Warcraft for 10 hours straight? How's that fun? It's like, well, you just don't understand. It's therapeutic.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So you left a little. What was your overall impression of Midas mode, bud? You were at Midas mode 1.
I was thinking when I remembered this morning that we were podcasting, I was kind of running around the house doing all kinds of shtiff. And I was trying to think, like, what am I going to talk about when it comes to Midas mode? And that was by far the biggest blur of a tournament that I've ever been at. Everything was just a blur. Everything was changing every 5 minutes. There was no stability. It didn't feel like... I don't know. It didn't feel like we were talent. It felt like we were, like, beta testers the whole time. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yeah.
We were just constantly on our... It's like mentally, we were just on our feet the entire time. It was exhausting. It was an extremely stressful tournament. It was good. I had a good time.
Yeah.
But it was something else, man.
Yeah.
I can just think of all these moments where Slacks was driving me insane, but at the same time, we're still like working together, and I know that he's driving me insane in a good way because he's trying to improve the product.
Yeah.
But I have to like rein him in and try and fix it. And then there's just so many of those moments. I can't even like pick them out anymore. There were just so many. I legitimately am like, I was trying to think of anecdotes from it this morning, and I'm just like, it's just a blur, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel dissimilar to you. I was sort of thinking this, going through the same motions. I feel like this event, Slacks and I definitely rubbed on each other a lot. Though I look back on Midas Mode 1, and I had a miserable experience at Midas Mode 1, too.
Yes, yours was awful.
I was the solo
one.
producer, and I was sort of like the single point of failure that was kind of doing too much, and it was sort of inevitable in some ways. If we recall, JJ didn't come to Midas Mode 1 because he had something going on. So originally, I wasn't planning on producing it, but once it came to light that he wasn't available, I was like, well, who else are we going to get? No one else knows our stack. I built this fucking thing. I can't teach anybody else how to do it. So, yeah, that event was rough. Midas Mode 2 had a lot of improvements. Like, in a lot of ways, this was like the best event we've ever run. Like, the sales went better than any event we've ever done. We sold a title sponsor for the first time. That's like a really big achievement. Any title sponsorship usually is a pretty big sum of money and a pretty large deal that takes a lot of negotiation. I mean, I've been talking to the Betway guys doing little tester events for like literally 2 or 3 years now. I think I met them at TI 5? Maybe it was TI 6.
It was TI 6.
TI 6
I was there.
Was the first time I met him. So there were a lot of wins, right? And we had a lot of really cool, innovative features with this VR Roche. And like, this took community interaction to another level. You know, like we broke that ceiling wide open. So leading up to it, I kind of felt like, damn, we're like kind of organized. Slacks and I did literally a month and a half of, we were both full-time Midas mode. Not even full-time Moonduck, just straight full-time Midas mode. Both of us waking up every day at 6 or 7, talking on the phone intermittently, having meetings, making proposals, doing project management stuff. And it felt good to sort of be able to have someone else to really plan this stuff ahead of time. But the dark side of this event was that we took on a lot of shit. The Indiegogo.
We needed 3 more people doing the exact same thing you and Slacks were doing.
Yes.
And except they needed to be doing it for the tournament, for the gameplay. Right. That is what we messed up.
Well,
we needed 3 people who were just literally testing and working on that shit for like a month and a half straight.
Yeah. And, you know, it's the person that made the map for us, it's a side project, right? This isn't his full-time job. He has a full-time job. So there are some explanations along the way that are kind of reasonable. Not that they're justified excuses in having some of that stuff broken. That felt like maybe we could have found some of those bugs ahead of time if we had a little more time to test. If things were done on schedule. But it's recognizing that as you scale, so does everything else. This was the first event where I felt like, holy shit, dude, I need an account manager for these sponsors. These activations are so big and worth so much money. Like let me put it this way. The title sponsorship for Midas Mode 2 was more money alone than the entire budget of Midas Mode 1.
Yeah.
That's how significant of a jump Midas Mode 1 to 2 was. So Midas Mode 1, I could actually handle the sponsors. It was actually great because I was in control of production. So whoever the betting partner was could say, hey, we want to change this. I was sitting at the production computer. I could literally just move it over and say, okay, done. We fixed it. Instant feedback.
You're welcome.
It's actually sort of efficient, but obviously you can't do that forever. And now our production team is 5 people, and you have a switcher and an audio guy and a graphics guy and all this different stuff going on. You know, I was bogged down a lot by just interfacing with sponsors. And I should have known better because the sponsors do it. You know, you negotiate the contract with a senior person. The day the contract is signed, they introduce you to the junior manager that's in charge of the account now. And that person does all the communication, and the senior person only comes in to solve big problems or, you know, as needed. I don't know why I didn't do that. I'm the senior guy. I needed a junior guy to go and have the conversations and, you know, take those notes to JJ and say, hey, we need to swap out this logo. Why am I doing that? I'm fucking hosting. I need to be watching these games and I'm embarrassed at the amount of times I had to host panels and barely watched the game that was on
during the
right
countdown.
before.
You go, who won? Who won? Who won?
I had to do that more than once. Like,
oh, I know.
And depending on who's on the panel, I get more embarrassed. But I know that you'll actually tell me because you know what's going on. So I'm like, Trent. Yeah. 10 seconds. Who won? Was it on Verkesa? I didn't watch. You know, that's a shitty reality. It doesn't feel good, but that's a moment where you just kind of have to deal with it and roll with the punches. But, you know, it happened to Slacks too. He's on the panel, and there's these questions from the admins like, hey, this team has a question. What's the answer? You're the only one that can answer it, and he's supposed to be on the panel talking about the upcoming match and hyping it up. And that's the kind of shit. It's hard to delegate. And he just needs to be the brains of this kind of a thing. You can't. It reminds me of Summit 1. LD was our best caster, our CEO, and our best project manager. He can't be all three of them, man. You know, he's either handling the accounts, or he's casting, or he's doing the project management. And you feel like, well, we're losing if he's not doing one of them because he's our best caster. So now our whole product suffers if he's not on camera. But
I mean, that's what happened to us with Sunsfan and Slacks.
Yeah.
Right? It's the exact. I mean, you're already talking about Slacks, but Sunsfan especially, he was barely on panel the first 2 days because all he was doing was testing creeps. And everyone's like, where's the magic of Midas mode? This doesn't feel like Midas mode 1. And I can tell you why. It's because Sunsfan's not out there screaming about Reginald and doing Sunsfan things. Like,
yeah,
that was the issue.
It was. I am so glad though that we brought in some of the third part, like the non-duckers. You know, like the Kyle, Owen, Sheever. They did such a phenomenal job at this event, helping pick up some of that slack. And it was so perfect to have some people that were straight up just dedicated talent. And we didn't really do that on purpose, but my God, we needed it. If we didn't have them there, that event would have been fucked. Like, going back and looking at the footage, there's a palpable difference between me and Sheever because she was dedicated talent. She's watching the game. She's taking notes. She's doing full Sheever things. You know, she's full-time hosting. She's slaying it. And then I come out there just like, hey, and I'm just had the look on my face is like, you can tell that guy's not having fun. You know, you could see the stress on my face. I recorded some videos on my phone of us arguing, and if you zoom in on Slacks, he doesn't look like a happy person. He looks fucking miserable. You know, you don't have to know anything about the context to look at one of those screenshots and be like, that guy needs to take a nap. That guy needs to go to bed right now. So, yeah, fucking chaos, man.
Yeah, all the actually there were a lot of very good things. As much as we're saying there were some things that were bad. Like the production was perfect. Production could not have been better. We had a full-time admin doing admin things, doing bounties. Jacob, I love Jacob. He's fully in charge of everything. Dude. We had JJ doing his normal stuff, like full-on production. We had the audio guy, and we had an observer. So JJ's not double dipping. He can freely Twitch chat the whole time he wants while producing.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about his obsing. God bless David. Great obs.
Yeah.
And the green room was great. Had everything you could ask for. We had a hospitality guy helping everybody out. Green room was nice and big.
Smash.
Plenty of places to sit for the most part. We had the stream on the whole time. Got the Smash setup in there, you know.
Yeah.
It was good.
I mean, even though it was stressful, it was still kind of weirdly fun. Like I still laughed a lot. You know, like I still had a lot of moments
Oh
in
yeah.
the back where like there were just great times of still connecting with talent. It was still a great bonding experience. We finally had, this was our first event ever. Well, okay, Captain's Draft, we hired a whole production team, so that's different. That was sort of like a turnkey type operation. This was the first Moonduck pure operation where we had a dedicated audio guy. Let me tell you about the glories of a dedicated audio guy, dude. We have been fucking up so hard because our group has the widest vocal range imaginable for a production. You've got Moxie, who's way up here and talks really fast and gets pretty naturally loud. You've got Purge, who's way down here, kind of soft, kind of quiet. And Slacks, who's all over the place. And you've got to balance all of it and make it sound good. And it was so refreshing to be able to scream and get hype, like with the Malwarebyte load-in intros, and just fucking blast the mic, to see Owen stick that mic inside of that fucking trumpet and just blast it as hard as he could. And if you go back and look at that footage, it sounded good. It had a proper sound gate on it. It had a proper limiter, and it could handle it. There was literally somebody monitoring, looking at the stream going, oh man, some shit's about to go down. And he's like right there to control it. That shit is 10 out of 10, dude. Shout out to Spice, the audio guy. He slayed it. He's moving to Colorado in the pretty near future. I got a new ski buddy. I couldn't be more excited to have him part of the team.
Ooh, ski buddy.
Dude, he was
Hype.
10 out of 10 that event. Honestly, I'm so glad that we were able to find somebody to fill those shoes.
Yeah, he was great. He was very good.
It's not a fun job either. You know, you're just sitting there listening to us talk about nothing. It's rough.
Hey, that's a great job.
Well, see, normally you have the control, though. You can get up, you can turn it off. He's subjected to all of it.
That's a very good point. There's no break.
For 6 days consecutive. Well, he left early like you did, so. But yeah, I think I'm really glad we decided to mix in China, though. I think it was more difficult than we thought it would be. Like presented just with the translations and the difficulties of the interactions, sort of being on site. Like the VR Roche didn't really resonate that well. I don't think the creep takeover was a big hit to the Chinese teams. So I'm glad we tried it. I think it was definitely the right play just to try to integrate more of the community together and just see some of those reactions. It was really fun translating the Chinese Twitch chat or the Huya chat or whatever they call it, and just sort of reading their comments through the translations and sort of getting their reaction to like the economy. Like I remember on day one China, we were reading it and the comment we kept seeing was "Fire Lady cheap. Fire Lady should be much more expensive." Because in China, they love Lena. She's very highly rated. And in the NAEU, she wasn't picked at all. She's middle of the pack or whatever. So it was cool seeing some of those mismatches. And I'm sure you know this. This might be public knowledge. But did you know that Roche in China translates to Meat Mountain?
No, I didn't know that.
I don't know if that's just a bad translation. But they kept talking about the Meat Mountain. And we realized it was Roche. Like, Meat Mountain, too powerful. Like, oh, the VR Roche. Okay. All right.
Meat
Mountain.
No, I've never heard that.
Okay,
excellent. Thank you.
Maybe it was just the Google Translate, but we got a good chuckle out of that one. That's it. He's meaty.
Oh man.
Trying to think of other. I'm with you though. It's weird. Usually when we do long events like this, I have these specific anecdotes of okay, check this out.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm trying to remember specific moments, and it really does feel kind of like a blur. We're gonna get uploads of the fill panels on YouTube. I've got. So we paid our. Did you see one of our highlight videos has 300K views?
No.
It's the OG versus TI1 Navi series when they first played.
Well, look at that.
So we had
the
C-Tech.
Power of highlight videos.
My boy C-Tech, he's actually Purge's video editor, but we hire him for Moonduck stuff too. And he did
Yeah.
all the VOD clipping, and then he made, I think, almost all of the highlights. He might not have done the content highlights, but he did all the gameplay ones. And from what I saw, they looked pretty damn good. I'm sure there are some other highlights out there that aren't approved that I didn't get around to DMCAing. I'll be honest, I didn't have that much bandwidth to shut down all the imposters, but that really felt good to see that number and and there was another one that has I think maybe it was OG versus Alliance has 200K views or something. It's all right, I feel justified now because that day after that noob from UA tweet that sort of went viral and made it on onto Reddit rather.
Yeah.
I realized we needed to get some highlights pretty quick, and C-Tech lives in Norway, so his cost of living is high. He's one of our more expensive editors, so I hired him to do it because I knew he was reliable and good. When I looked at the price tag, I was like, oh, holy shit. Okay, so I offered to pay for part of it because I felt bad just like jacking up this expense for the company after causing this giant ruckus. And it feels good to know that that was money well spent and that the highlights were watched and at least appreciated by some. And I think in the future, we're gonna fucking pay people to do highlights, dude. We're just gonna do it. We're highlight people now.
We must. We have no choice now.
Sorry, guys. No, I was pretty embarrassed.
God.
That conversation with Slaux was a little awkward. You know, it's sort of like going to daddy and being like, "Hey, I might have made a problem for us," and he was just like, "Why? Why? We didn't need one more thing. Why did you tweet that?" I'm just like, well, I thought it would be zingy. I wanted to have a gotcha.
It zinged.
Oh.
There's no doubt about that.
And the other surprise for Midas mode, which was truly a surprise, fucking sheepsticked was there the whole time, dude. That was
okay. Did you know she was going to be there?
So only kind of like so. Guac, he's the guy. I don't. Is he the CEO? He like owns Beastcoast or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll clarify this right now. Undertow Apparel is the split off of Beast Coast. It was Beast Coast doing all of our merch and the team. They realized that was confusing. So now Undertow Apparel is the merch and Beast Coast is just the team, but it's owned by the same people, run by the same people, same designers, all that stuff. So they did all of our merch for Midas Mode, and there's just a lot of overlap there. So Guac kind of just said in the Midas Mode group, like, was it 4 days before, something like that? Just like, hey, by the way, I bought Sheepsticked a flight. She'll be there. And I don't think anybody responded because out of context, we're all like, what the fuck's a sheepstick? What are you talking about, dog? And I think Slacks mentioned it to me on a call, just like, yeah, apparently sheep is coming. I don't know what's happening with that. And I think we kind of didn't believe it. Like, we're just like, yeah, okay, dude. Yeah, sure. Why? What is she going to do? And then I had actually sort of an embarrassing moment where I didn't recognize her at first. So first day of the tournament, it's day one. I come downstairs. I'm with Carlo. We go into the breakfast place to get coffee, and there's one person in there. This young lady sitting in the corner table eating some eggs. And she's just sort of sitting there, and as we walk in, we're talking loudly per usual. So she's looking at us, and I can't tell if she's looking at us because we're just talking loud and it's early in the morning or if there's something else going on. So she kind of keeps staring at us, and as I walk sort of closer to her, she says, "Hi, Zyori," and I'm like, "Hey," and I do the kind of fake it thing, like, "Hey, hey, man, what's going on? Great to see you. Yeah, you know I'm Zyori."
And I just did this so many times at a wedding this weekend.
And she's just like, do you not recognize me? You just walked right by me, and I made eye contact and waved at you, and I was just like, yeah, man, I'm in a fucking different headspace. I'm a bozo. Sorry. As soon as I heard the voice, I knew exactly who it was. But I mean, honestly, I truly didn't, which I think is a compliment. I tried to spin it as a compliment. I mean, her complexion has changed a fair bit. So I suppose it's just like, wow, this is like, seriously, I didn't recognize you. Look incredible. How's it going? So it was a little awkward at first, but we pounded it out. It was all good. Then we played a couple pubs together, and it was fucking awesome. Honestly, her presence there was great. I realized that just like at Jungle Jam, it felt like we were missing Slacks. It's like his just energy in the green room brings everybody up and gets you to this point where when you go on panel, you're like energized and feeling good, right? And Sheep kind of had that impact on me a little bit in the sense that I could come to the back and just sort of vent to her or just like play Smash. She was just like a little chaos sponge back there. I could come back and be like, fucking spawn.
She must have heard so much shit, dude.
And just kind of like, and she's so chill. And she would just kind of like not really react and just be like, yeah, all right, let's play some Smash. And she was nice, she would go easy on me so I could feel good. And she would play shitty characters so I could at least take a stock off of her with my shitty Bowser.
Yeah.
It's weird how like these little things come together and you look back and realize like, if I didn't have that little outlet to release some of my rage, I would have been so much worse. I would have lost it even earlier at this event instead of losing it on the last day. Like, it's just funny how those little cosmic things come together. But it was cool. I met her at the TI in Vancouver, basically just like at the TI after party. So you know how that is. Oh,
yeah.
You kind of meet people, but you don't really get to connect. And this felt like I went from acquaintance to friend with her at this event. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. Actually, we hung out a lot. We played a ton of Smash together. We like played in that tournament too. But yeah, it was really nice just having her back there. And she hopped on some panels too. And
Yeah.
then we ended up having a bit of her with the whole stand-in thing, which ended up being pretty damn funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Frankly.
I think that was a good idea. That was a good integration.
Yeah.
I played a couple pubs with her too, and I really like playing Dota with that personality type because she's good and chill, but she still directs a little bit. You know, I found like when I
Yeah,
play
she
with
cares
people,
enough.
they're often too bossy or they're too like, I'm just having fun, bro. I don't give a fuck, and they just do really dumb shit that makes it like not even fun. Where she's
Yeah.
that balance, where she's trying to win. She'll give me some pointers like, hey, bro, just go farm the jungle for 5 minutes. It's all good. I got it, you know? But, you know, you're still just having fun and relaxing, and you don't have that overwhelming sense of like, if we lose, we're going to get real mad. It's the right amount of rage. She was playing position 4 Slardar against the 10th pick OD. By half an hour, he was just fucking one-shotting her. That's frustrating. You know, I would get mad at that too. That's an appropriate rage right there. And she plays Toxic Heroes. So they last pick Tinker.
yeah, that's
she
true.
last picks Arc Warden, dude. Fucking awesome. I love having a dirty Arc Warden Meepo spammer on my team. It's fucking sick. Oh, man. So, yeah, fun event. It's always, I used to say, like, when I was a more amateur caster, my goal when I went to events was just to connect with one person, like add one more player to my network or like make one caster my friend. And I feel like I still try to live up to that rule a little bit. You know, like when in doubt, just try to make an effort to connect with one person. That should be a pretty easy minimum target. If I can't even do
that's a pretty low bar.
you
That's
know,
good.
that's
The live audience, I think, was a pretty good success. I mean, obviously, I know a couple of them are here, but it was a good. I mean, I know you guys did Jungle Jam, but I wasn't there, so I guess I didn't really get the feel for it. But I think in terms of like a concept, this idea of online with live people seems pretty legit.
yeah.
For that scale of an event, I think the people there had an excellent time. I thought it was so cool that they like had their Discord and they were all talking, like organizing what they'd be doing after the games ended, or like, oh hey, we're going out to get food. Anybody want to go? Like it was a very cool little social group.
Yeah, I mean, and they surprised us too, right? They bought the pizza, or not the pizza, the cake, that special cake for Slacks.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah, that was
so
nice.
there were some real heartwarming moments. I think that was probably the biggest win of the tournament. Looking back, I almost regret not making all of it a VIP experience. We sold like about 200 tickets, something like that. So I had like, I don't know, maybe 170 unique folks throughout the entire thing, which is okay. I'd say that's sort of like a minimum threshold of what we were hoping for. Definitely had expectations a little bit higher than that.
I think considering where we were and stuff, like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to. I mean, some people they basically made this their TI experience, right? They like took a week off and they flew and they came to our tournament, which is amazing. That's really cool. But I think if you did this in a place like LA, maybe not LA, but like, I don't know,
Seattle.
like somewhere East Coast that has like a larger Dota population, it could be really good.
Yeah, exactly. And we knew that was a gamble. And we asked the question, trying to do this live studio audience thing. Okay, 1,000 people came to Captain's Draft. What percentage of people would come to an event without teams that are here for the talent? You know, and we said, man,
1,000 people came to Captain's Draft, really?
Maybe it was like 1,200, 1,000, 1,200, something like that.
That's more than I would have expected, to be honest.
That's across the whole event, so that's not like one day.
Still though, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so it was good, but with those kind of numbers, it's like, you know, a lot of those regular tickets were almost like half VIPs. You know, they got to test stuff. They got that. When there's that few people, there isn't really this huge separation between VIPs and normies. And if I had known that was the max bound, I probably would have calibrated things a little differently and said, okay, maybe we just need to try to make this whole thing a VIP experience. Forget about this separation between people. Maybe you could still have some tiers and have like the gold VIPs and the silver VIPs or something. If not everybody wants to spend $300 or not everybody wants a computer. But I think that idea of trying to make every single experience memorable and sort of not do away with general admission, but I don't know. There's a lot you can do with an audience of that size, and it was great to see so many smiles. And I mean, it is pretty cool from the fan perspective that at the end of the day, it's like, hey, you want to help us test our custom-made map that's invite only? Would I ever? You know, like,
dude, I was like ordering them around, and they were loving it. I was like, you in that slot, you pick this hero, you do that. And they're like, okay, thank you. I'm like, you guys are like the hugest help ever. Do not thank me.
Yeah, right.
But I was definitely at the point where when we were loading into the lobby for like the 9th time or something, I was just like, work. But
Yeah.
eventually it did.
So definitely some big wins. The viewership was pretty decent overall. North America, unfortunately, my conclusion with that region is unless you have like EG level teams, it's brutal.
Yeah.
There isn't really a tier 2 in NA. There's like a small handful of like true tier 1 that everybody wants to watch, and then after that, the drop off is just like, I mean, like the Beast Coast versus Envorgesa series. I mean, seriously, more people were interested in our Dungeons and Dragons.
I know.
Which, I mean, I'm not saying that to be a dick. That's just a sad reality, and I don't know what to do with that. That's just a shitty feeling. You're in NA, and it's like you want to support the scene, but the numbers just don't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, Dungeons and Duckers that one night started with 8K viewers, I think, or 12K when the stream ended, and it slowly dwindled to like 6,600.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe you guys held that viewership on that.
I mean,
it helped because Buka's a fucking god.
Yes.
And his overlays were like the funniest thing ever.
That
during
helps
that
a
whole
lot.
Thing.
And it was also the DM. I mean, he put together that
Yes, he was good too.
just like super cool, like Dota themed D&D. So it connected. It really resonated. You know, if you don't really know Dungeons and Dragons, but you like Dota, there was still something for you. And if you really like Dungeons and Dragons, it was still proper D&D with a DM, dice rolls. So it resonates on both sides of the coin. It was some really cool, unique content. I would love to do something like that again. I told that DM, he made a Twitter just after that because of how many people were watching. And after it was over, I was like, dude, that was so fucking sick. Like, congratulations. That was a huge success. I hope you had fun because we all loved it. There were like 6K people watching that, and he just went like, there were 6,000 people watching that. It's like he's been a DM for like 20 years or some shit, but I don't know if he's done much shit on stream like that.
Yeah.
So just, it was so funny seeing that, like, but you could see his mind racing of like, oh God, what did I say? Did I do anything stupid? Oh no.
Yeah, he was really nice. He did a very good job.
Yeah, I will say it was refreshing to have a proper DM compared to the Slacks madness. The Slacks thing is fun for a short period, but
we should get him to do another campaign for us.
Yeah,
has that been discussed?
I don't know. We'd have to figure out how to set it up remotely, but I
mean,
think
lots of people do that shit remotely though.
Yeah, there's definitely tools for it.
Yeah, of course you do need the god of Buka producing it.
Yeah.
Man. Like, the overlay battle, I think, is what made that content so good. Because I was just sitting in the back with Buka, watching him do it. He is so unbelievably fast with Photoshop. My God.
Yeah.
Like, they would be like, in the room, there is a dragon with purple scales, and it's missing its tail. And Buka would be like, Google, purple dragon. And they'd be like slicing off the tail, and they'd be like recoloring it, and then he'd like layering it, slap it on, and reload the scene, and then just like, boom, there it was.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's insane when you see how high that skill stealing is. It's like,
what the motherfuck? All right, you know how I just did that? How I just said that sentence?
Yeah.
I fucking hate technology because I said, literally, I just went, okay, Google. My fucking phone turned on and Googled a motherfucking purple dragon. I fucking hate the internet.
Oh, my.
Oh, my fucking phone turned on Google. Yeah, I hate you. I gotta turn this shit off. Oh, God, that freaks me out.
Yeah,
fuck you, Google.
It's been happening to me more and more too. It's scary. Siri's a real bitch these days. I'll tell you what.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I don't know what to do with NA. I'm losing hope in South America as well. I'm very curious. So let's start to transition a little bit, unless you have something else specific about Midas mode.
No, I'm good.
Beast Coast signs the previous Envorgesa.
Oh, actually, hold on. Before. Odds on a Midas mode 3.
Oh my.
100% or 90%?
Independent of time, just at any point in the future?
Yeah.
Pretty high. I'd say like 80 to 90%.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Odds of it in the next year, I would say 50%. Maybe lower.
I'd say 20.
20% in the next year. Take some time.
I mean, think it out, dog. You know there are some IRL things happening that might make things a little difficult.
That's true.
I think all of us need a little bit of a break. I think like we have this tendency to dive into stuff. Like we did it with Midas Mode 1 and Captain's Draft 4. I don't know why we don't learn from our fucking mistakes. I wrote this goddamn book. I'm reading pages out of it just like, dude, I'm still doing the same shit I was doing 5 years ago. I'm still taking on too much to the point that I explode on somebody who doesn't deserve it. What? I wrote a book literally for therapy so that I wouldn't do this anymore. And that very thing is making me mad, right? Oh, the irony. But Midas Mode 1 and Captain's Draft 4 within the same quarter was fucking brutal. We had to like
That
break
was
into
insane.
teams. It's like me and Slacks only on Midas Mode and everyone else on Captain's Draft. And we were like running from event to event over the holidays. This was the exact same shit. We did the Jungle Jam while most of our staff for Midas Mode were in China at TI. So nobody got a break. And then we had this kind of illusion that, oh yeah, there's still like 4 weeks after TI and then Midas Mode. That's plenty of time. Like, well, sorta, except that after TI, everybody goes on vacation for a week. So really, it's only 3 weeks. And some of that needs to be for testing. So really, it's only 2 weeks. And now that I'm looking at the calendar, these are going to be some pretty fucking long days, dog. So
yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, so I think everybody just needs a cool down. I think fuses got high. And like Slacks and I both hit this point where it's like we both hit a wall, and it's like recognizing that it's not even a single point of failure. It's just a point of failure of like our brains are not working. We are not making good decisions. And somebody still has to make these decisions, and you just get jammed in these like power scenarios of we just got to fucking power through this. We just got to power through this. And you get fucking loopy. You just start doing dumb shit. You know, I make a schedule, send it to him. He goes, okay. He reads it after it goes public and goes, wait a second, this isn't right. And then we start arguing about the workflow for the schedule. And it's just like, man, if we were just a little more with it, this wouldn't have been an argument. But instead, we're arguing about this dumb shit. And then that adds more stress, you know? So everybody needs a cool down. Everybody needs a reset. We all need to kind of recalibrate. And I think once it all comes back into focus, you know, Midas Mode 3 is on the horizon for sure.
What is it called? Talon? Father Talon?
I think it's more likely we do an elimination mode before
I want to do an elimination
Midas
mode
Mode 3.
I don't need Slacks.
Looking back, I really think elimination mode is one of the best things we've ever created because it's a good balance of like unique weird stuff with legitimate strategy. And it scales in any meta, any number of heroes.
It's by far the best mode. It's by far the best mode. It's actually so good.
Yeah. And it's legitimate practice. You know, it's like it's not complete garbage. Like, yeah, it's different drafting, but you can still get some scrim value out of participating. So we need to do some recalibration for Midas Mode. But overall, to wrap it up, very successful event. A huge thank you to all of our partners. It was so much fun to rep Kennedy Space Center again. It was It was and we've said this before, but like this was Malwarebytes' first foray into esports, and that in terms of everything that we do in this ecosystem, that's the kind of shit I'm most proud of because that's not just hey, we got money for this tournament. We just opened a potential door for this company to start making spends in the entire ecosystem. And maybe now they evaluate and say, hey, we're going to try something in League of Legends. Maybe we're going to sponsor some influencers. I kind of don't care where the money goes. It's more that we're just taking more marketing dollars and bringing it into esports. And if we can give them good return on that.
Yeah. Did you get a postmortem from them? The general feeling?
Yeah. Overall positive. They really liked the content. They really liked the branding. I think the number one wall is that it's a little bit hard to track conversions because the nature of their software is such that you only need it when you're having a problem. So the actual download number for the event was just okay. It exceeded their minimum expectation, but wasn't like, wow, oh my God, we got so many downloads. But I think the amount of reach that we hit and the reception from the audience, I tried to make the case like, guys, I think as soon as someone has a problem, Malwarebytes is going to be the first thing they think of how do I scan my computer? You know, you're positioned as the free, best in class that also is targeted to this demographic. It's sort of a waiting game, you know, like we're on the radar now.
Yeah, true.
And we can't track those conversions. And they're aware of that. You know, they're like, yeah, we don't know how to separate out anybody that just typed in Malwarebytes on Google because they were at the event and didn't click on one of the links. You know, we're not tracking that, but we're still getting downloads. So they were pretty happy. There were definitely some Reddit threads that I think helped a lot, like seeing that audience, like, you know, seeing that real feedback from users means so much to sponsors. And they were really happy to hear that fans at the event were talking about their other products. Like they have a mobile app for Android and iPhone to keep your phone safe from whatever. And they thought that wouldn't resonate with gamers at all, so they didn't want us to promote it. And they were really happy to hear that people were naturally intrigued by some of their other offerings through this activation. So I definitely think it will lead to more. If that's how we're kind of judging the success, I think Malwarebytes will continue to explore esports opportunities in terms of marketing spends. So
yes, good.
So great news there. So yeah, a lot of wins on this one, Trent. But I think I sprouted a few more gray hairs somewhere here in this new dude I'm
I'd
rocking.
say so. Just a couple. Oh, what's what are we gonna talk about now about SA and NA and
Beast Coast picking up Envor Gesa.
mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? Is it face
I call
value?
that a value play.
Good play. Okay, they did
Definitely a
just
good
qualify
play.
for the major, right? Am I
Yeah, they did.
crazy?
And when you think about it, it's like they have 2 guaranteed slots at every major. That team's probably gonna make it. They clearly seem to be the best team in South America. They're cheaper than any other region. So, good call, Beast Coast.
Yeah,
Thumbs up.
I think so. I'm very curious about the financials. I wonder how much their salaries are. I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. No clue.
But I mean, this is the beginning of it. You know, first it was Chaos Esports Club, and that didn't work out so well. They had some trouble breaking into the region, and now Beast Coast is coming in a little bit different. I mean, obviously EC was trying to do the mixed group, so you have some outsiders mixed in with the locals. This is just picking up a local team straight up and slapping the Beast Coast logo on it.
They're also better prepared for merch, though, I think, which I assume is one of their goals, is to try and really push their merch down there and try and make use of all the fans they have.
I think. So yeah, you're right. Maybe there is some more overlap because they own a little bit more of that supply chain.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're.
Yeah, if I had to guess their salary, I would probably guess 2K.
I wonder if
I had to
they're
guess.
looking at potential ROI from a team org perspective through prize winnings, from that perspective of, okay, well, we got guaranteed slots to every major for the most part if we think we're top 2 in the region. So even just placing top 12 at most of those, we're going to start, you know, if the company rake is, let's say, 10 or 20% or something, you'll make that back pretty quickly. I wonder if Beast Coast has any potential to sell sponsors in that region. Like they've got Introvert and Corsair listed on Wikipedia.
I mean, I doubt they're taking any prize pool. Do you think they're taking any prize
Well,
pool?
I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, what's the business structure like? If they're taking 0 prize pool, then the only way to recoup the cost of those salaries is either through merch sales or sponsorships.
I think they try and get sponsors because they say that this team's good enough and we have 2 slots in SA that they're going to qualify to every major. Here's the viewership that's at the major. They just got top 8 at TI. Look at this viewership.
I mean, who are the
Slap
sponsors?
your name on it. We have the underdog teams. I don't know, get Corsair, all that kind of shit. Just go after hardware. Do the typical.
We'll see. You got to find
Fucking
hardware.
Pain Gaming just got BMW, dude. Do you know where Pain Gaming is right now? Not qualified to the major.
Yeah, that's true.
They just lost a qualifier to the minor, I think. Or maybe it was qualifier to the major. I can't remember. It's probably the major because the minor stuff's still going on right now. But if Pain can get BMW,
yeah,
I would hope that Beast Coast can do something better than that.
What is Pain's website? I don't know, because you're right. Pain is by far, like, from a business perspective, pretty far ahead in that region. Where is their damn website? I mean, they've got wild sponsors: SanDisk, Western Digital, Samsung, Coca-Cola Brazil. Like, Jesus, dude, that's some shit right there. I don't even know how. Their website is just a landing page. What the fuck? Warning: potential security risk ahead. Jesus Christ. All right.
Perfect.
Well, not going there. Need to install malware bytes on this thing.
Yeah, there you go.
What the fuck? So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But I don't know how Pain has done it. They have some. I would imagine Pada just has some crazy connections in the region because I know he's relatively wealthy himself. I don't think.
Well, I mean,
he inherited
Star
it.
Ladder had a Coke sponsorship at their event, and I'm pretty sure they just got free Coke. So.
I mean, that's true. Our beer sponsorship at Midas Mode was free beer. So
exactly. So, just because we can slap down New Belgium or something on the wiki for Midas Mode, but it don't mean shit.
That's actually a really good point. They've got Razer listed here. That could have been some free headsets and keyboards.
Exactly.
We have no clue. All right.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's fair. That's totally fair. No, I'm just really curious how it will work out. The Beast Coast org is very interesting to me. I'd love to sit down and do an interview with Grant at some point. He's probably listening right now, just like, why you fucking not on the episode right now? But I'm very curious about the business side of this and seeing more foreign dollars from a South American perspective being invested into the region to support these teams.
Yeah, true.
It's just an interesting kind of thing to observe right now, and we're all hoping for the best, right? I think we all want to see NA succeed. It's just a debate of how, what, when, and where. All right, well, what's going on in the qualifiers, dude?
Well, the minor ones are going on right now, but the major ones, I don't think there's any big shock. Maybe the only like surprise is how well the new Alliance team is doing. The Nico Baby squad. They took first overall in the region. I think most people probably assumed it would be Liquid, aka Old Alliance, or possibly Ninjas in Pajamas. But Alliance weren't just winning; they just looked really good. Especially once you got into the playoff stage. I watched a lot of their games. 2-0 Singularity, 2-1 Liquid, and I think the game they lost, they kind of lost it from the outset.
Interesting.
And what was cool was so they lost game 2, and then they picked 4 of the same 5 heroes and just replaced OD with a Razor, and they won game 3
Huh.
pretty convincingly. So there was I don't know, I was very impressed by that from Fada as a new captain to be willing to do that.
Yeah.
That seems a little crazy to me.
I'm with you on that. Now it's a cool lineup. I would like to see this team do well. I'm curious where Nico Baby is going to end up. If he's going to truly maintain his presence as a tier 1 carry.
Yeah, Hanskin was the big question mark for me.
Yeah.
Watching him, I just watched him play a lot of Rubik in the games they were playing, but he had his moments. But he's been one of these players that's like kind of hung around the top echelons of the scene. Like I guess more so when I first started watching, and then fell off for a while. But pretty good.
Gambit with a little bit of a revamped squad here. FNG.
Yep.
Man, so they've got a player from Kyrgyzstan, 2 from Russia, 1 from Kazakhstan, and then 1 from Belarus and a Ukrainian captain. Wow.
Coach.
Coach, I'm sorry. Yeah. Coach.
Yeah, the VP didn't make it, so they're going to be at the minor. Sumail's team didn't make it. They're going to be at the minor.
What happened to VP, dude? What happened?
Well, they imploded, so they're figuring their shit out.
Like,
I guess
who the
I didn't
hell
watch
are
any of the
positive
CIS
guys?
quals.
Like what is this?
It's just an ILTW stack.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good players.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
I mean, I don't know who
the only guy I
Ergon
don't know is Aragon.
Yeah. I don't know their coach either. The Heartless King, kind of a badass handle.
That is pretty badass. That's way cooler than the Wraith King. We should change Wraith King to Heartless King.
So, fighting Papagas, of course, the Envy stack. They'll be at the major.
Hell yeah, dude. That's my new Team Canada.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
Snake King.
Canada and
it's like
Snake
NP. King. I have no choice but to cheer for my boys.
No, actually, that's pretty sick. I hadn't put that together. I forgot that Bryle was Canadian. That one is based on that. EG. I guess we haven't talked about some of these roster changes. This new EG lineup, I didn't watch the qualifiers. I don't know what to think of this. Arteezy, Abed, Ramses, Crit, Fly, and then Bulba as the coach.
Wild shit. I mean, I'm sure Bulba probably helped pull in Abed because of his previous pass with him on Onyx.
Yeah.
And DC.
I forget. I think we've talked about
that was pretty surprising.
Abed on the podcast before, and I don't remember what my opinion was or what your opinion was. I think I might have thrown out the idea that Abed is overrated because he's never won anything. I feel like that was something I said.
I feel like we might have been talking about. I can't remember if we were talking about Abed or DJ. I think we were trying to distill from that roster, the previous roster, Fnatic. One of the issues I tended to see is that no one really knew who to praise or who to blame.
Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe that was the context.
I feel like that's kind of what we talked about, was this idea of just like, well, some people think DJ's a god and he's like the best thing ever, and other people think that Abed's a god and or Abed's bad, and that kind of stuff.
I mean, a lot of star power on this lineup. This is one of those EG teams that you could see like, yep, if they started winning everything, I wouldn't be surprised. Like the individual skill on all those roles is just unbelievable. If you go head to head, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think about that roster. I still haven't seen that many of their games. I only really watched their series with Quincy Crew. I saw like the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But impressive stuff, man. And EG.
Quincy Crew, that is the Sumail team, right? Yeah. So Sumail, CCNC, who I guess now is going by Quinn, Yawar, MSS, and SVG.
Yeah, SVG's return.
Wow. Interesting. Has CCNC actually gone? Like, is he renamed now? Is he?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but he's tagged up as Quinn now in game, so seems that way.
I like it. Following the Kyle strat, just slowly going to first
the names. Yep.
The Trent strat.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's genius. I'm jelly. I tell that to everyone. I'm like, Grant, you're doing it right. You're just fucking Grant. You own the name Grant now. That's your brand. Andrew's too generic.
That was pretty smart.
I can't be Andrew.
No. Yeah, like you were talking about Grant Zinn earlier, and everyone thought you were talking about Grant.
Yeah.
That's how much he owns that brand.
Dude, I can't even be Andrew Campbell. You know how many Andrew Campbells there are out there? It's such a ridiculously popular name. Even Andrew M. Campbell isn't that unique. I had to throw the M in there just to try to stand out for SEO. It's brutal.
Hard life, dude.
I know.
What else is up though? We have the qualifiers for the major are already happened. Then you have the minor, and then we have Hamburg, right? And then Dream League first, right into Hamburg. Dream League's only
Let's
9 days away now.
let me take a look.
They just announced their talent, pretty much the same crew as last time. I think I want to say it's almost the exact same crew.
Let me take a look.
Just like Shiver, Owen Fogged. We got Lacoste. He might be not in the last one, but he's here for this one. And then Moxie Lizard
Okay.
together, and then Grant as well. So they kind of have 3 casting pairs with Owen Fogg, Grant, Lacoste, and Moxie Lizard, and then Shiver just hosting.
Okay.
So lots of maneuverability there in terms of the panels.
Yeah, that's great.
Then they had 4 direct invites. The teams are Alliance, Liquid, so for your double Europe, and then you got J-Storm and NIP. Well, I guess it's technically Europe, but they've announced they're going to be moving to NA after this qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
And then Europe. Who qualified from Europe?
For Dream League? Uh-oh, we lost you. We lost you. Oh, no.
Why do you mean? I'm still here. Hi.
There you go. Now I got you.
I was still there. I never left.
Well, you left for me. I don't know. Maybe that was my side. I don't know what happened.
Oh, what happened? The internet died?
I don't know. No. I saw your
What
mouth
happened?
moving, but I couldn't make out no words.
Well, that's odd. My thing was going the whole time.
That is odd. Maybe it was. We'll blame TeamSpeak.
Okay.
So what was the question?
Yeah.
Who qualified for EU?
Well,
for
I was
what?
wondering because Fly to Moon qualified for the major or the for Dream League, but I don't see them for the major and the minor. What happened there?
Oh yeah,
I don't
Iceberg.
even see them in the
Flow,
qualifiers.
SEMA.
Okay, there must be something going on here. Hold up. What am I missing? Am I crazy?
Let me look at the CIS qualifier here.
Did they not make it through the open qualifier?
That's what it looks like.
Oh. Oh
I
no.
mean, we might be able to scroll through some of the open bracket.
They got
Yeah.
2-0'd by that Palantimo stack
They
in
got
the open qualifier.
Yeah, they placed top 8 in the open qualifier, and you needed top 4 to move on to the closed.
Oh, but it was a single bracket?
Windstrike also bombed out in the open.
Oh.
Wowzers.
Well, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So you just had 16 teams.
Single a limb, baby.
Oh, jeez. Yikes.
Not ideal.
Well, that's a little odd to win that and then not make it. Okay. So at least they got Dream League to look forward to, I guess.
Yep. And then the Demon Slayers. What the fuck is this? Costa Bile, Ched, Old White, Francis Lee, and Juan. North American qualifier for Dream League. So, all right. So not many teams played. Why didn't anybody from NA want to go to Dream League?
I don't know.
Only 4 teams were in the open qualifier. And one of them was Jenkins' team. One of them is Sammy Boy's team. The other is Zlotl, the Ifrit Hector SA squad. And then the team that qualified.
Envy was playing in it, right? I think they just lost. Because they were, remember they were doing the qualifiers during Midas mode?
Maybe.
Remember we had like reschedule
I can't see
them?
the open bracket. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I know it's not on Wikipedia, but do you remember we had to reschedule? Remember
Oh,
we had to play
you're
best
right.
of one.
I guess I didn't digest what we were actually rescheduling for. I just knew they had a conflict. Yeah. I didn't realize it was for the opens for Dream League.
Wow, what a man! So Dream League, wow, that
Weird.
sucks for Dream.
I've who the hell is Ched? Who's Old White? I've literally never heard of these guys.
No, neither have I.
I mean, I know Francis Lee and Costa Bile, but I mean,
I think Juan is the guy who I played in pubs a lot. I think that's. Oh, well, I assume it's the same guy, but I'm not even sure. Yeah, I don't know. That's wow, poor Dream League. I mean, I'm down for like upcoming teams and shit, but I'm sure they were probably hoping for like Virtus Pro to qualify in the Europe qualifier.
Yeah.
Like, did they not play?
Well, and they direct invited J Storm, so it looks like they wanted to have 2 NA teams, and yeah, it kind of feels like that last slot maybe should have gone to just anyone else in
Well,
Europe.
then again, if they direct invited J-Storm, I guess a lot of teams just said no.
Yeah.
No offense, J-Storm.
You know, Brax is on J Storm now. That was another little thing that happened. That little Beast Coast stack at Midas mode kind
Yep.
of imploded, and Brax is now it's Moo 9, Brax, Moos, and Fear with Demon as the coach. So you've got Moo and Moos now on the same team. So enjoy casting those tongue twisters.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Not my problem because Dream League never invites me to anything. I'll get you one day, Dream League. I'm coming for you.
What about
That's true. The qualifiers were before most confirmed.
What about Hamburg though? That's a pretty intense lineup, I guess. They've got VP. Ooh.
Yeah, they went with the lots of direct invites, and they did a regional qualifier plus their little Hamburg Invitational thing. So
Okay.
yeah, seems like it should be pretty good.
Oh, by the way, just curious.
Oh right, ESL. I was talking about Dream League. I'm so stupid. Never mind. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm talking about ESL. This is
Yeah.
wow, way different set of teams. You got Geek Fam here, Ryoya playing on that squad. I don't know who Viking.gg are, but that's interesting. Chappie, Bone 7. Okay. What do you think about this new NIP squad? Skeeter, Gunner, Universe, Biver, PPD.
Well, they're playing right now. They're currently playing Singularity. I could have swore, isn't this game 3? Did they just not put the markers up? They've looked a little shaky. Wait, 0-0. What happened? I thought they had already started game 1. Am I insane, guys?
Wish I knew.
Am I literally watching this earlier? Singularity played after. Oh right, they were playing Ascomani. That's who it was. Okay, so now they're playing Singularity. Got it. I don't know. I thought maybe they'd make the major, but they did not look very good in the major qualifiers.
Okay.
Gunner's still working on that old hero pool, and maybe doesn't have the confidence. A lot of his good heroes are getting banned too. Like Kunk is super popular, which is a hero he's really good at. But his other one, of course, is Ember, and everyone just first phase bans it. So he needs to find some more I'm terrifying heroes, I guess.
Excited to see Universe back on a squad, though.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. No doubt about that. I think it's really hard to attain that former competitive edge. Like, I wonder how much he's been grinding.
Me too. This is one of these teams where I would say my expectations are relatively low, but I'm very excited to watch them. Does that make sense? Like, I want to see how they're going to perform and how these different players will gel. Euros plus Americans. Interesting.
It was like it had like Ace and everyone, right? It was like Ace. So compare these two rosters. You've got Ace, who was coming off of Secret at the time, right? And everyone's like, okay, Ace is really good. So that's good for PPD. As you can recall, he's the only consistent factor between these two rosters.
Right.
Soxa was kind of the same, where everyone knew who he was, but I don't know, when he was coming into that NIP stack, I don't think he was regarded that highly. It was like, oh, cool, it's Soxa. Like, I remember him playing on DC. He's pretty good. 3-3, I think, was super hype. Everyone was excited to watch him, obviously. But then from Optic. And I feel like the question mark players were Fada, Soxa, and somewhat Ace a little bit. And now for this new stack, he's kind of got like 4 question mark players.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't have a good read on any of Peter's teammates this time.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, it's like, Universe was very good at one point, but as you mentioned, you kind of have to keep up with those skills. And, has he been grinding? I don't know. Sometimes players take time off, though, and then they come back even stronger. That kind of happened with Zai.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't he
Yeah,
take
Zai,
a pretty
100%.
extended break to finish school?
Yeah, he took like almost a year off.
And he came back almost, I don't want to say better than he was before, but definitely on the level.
Yeah. I think Zai or Fada, like, again, I kind of talked about it before, but I think his transition to 5 is looking pretty good. I know it's really early to say that, but he was doing a little bit of an interview thing from Alliance, so they just released it, just talking about like his first time captaining and captaining and like playing position 5, but his in-game positioning was very good. He made Ogre look a lot better than just being brain dead.
Okay, that says
Yeah,
something.
you know, he wasn't just like a brain dead ogre player. He was like a super smart ogre player and like always in the right spot during team fights. And he absorbed so much damage, but he still lived. He didn't just like feed every team fight,
Hmm.
but he was taking like 1,200 damage and then backing off in time to still then return and cast all his spells for a second round. Like it was pretty much perfect.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It feels like sometimes you watch games where position fives get stuck in that mentality of like, I'm gonna die no matter what. So they sort of just suicide. And when you see it played a little bit more on the limit, there's a whole nother skill ceiling that comes about. Um,
Yeah, we'll see. One of the more exciting teams, I think, as you said,
yeah,
to be looking at for. Definitely one of the more exciting ones in Europe because we kind of know that and Alliance, for sure.
yeah,
Because I mean, it features a lot of those players that we just mentioned, 3-3 and Fada, and then everyone, as we even said before, just like Nico Baby is still a little bit of a like, we'll see how that they do.
yeah, no doubt. What is this question in chat? What do you think about the new major minor direct invite rule that if Valve enforced their own rules, Secret, OGX, Liquid, LGD would have to start from open qualifiers in the next major/minor? Do you know what that means?
Because the way I think the direct invite thing was, in order to get into the qualifiers, you had to have had been in the last one. Isn't that how it works or something? I can't remember. They made some rules for this season. I'd have to find it. But like basically because Secret and LGD and all them, they didn't play this major.
Mm-hmm.
Do they now have to go through open qualifiers because they're not a recognizable team? I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen. I assume Valve's just gonna like put them in, and we'll just all accept it because that just makes sense. But I think there was something in the blog post about it that they're referencing.
Okay. Yeah, I wish I knew exactly what it was. I'm kind of with you. I sort of half remember, but I didn't really digest exactly what the change was without having to look it up. Um,
I'll you googly, or someone can link it. That'd also
yeah, if
be
someone
great.
has a link, that'd be great. Teams will be divided into two groups to compete in two best twos. What is this? It's all about the points.
Oh, here we go. Da-da-da.
Now you need DPC points to seed into closed.
Well, because then the new thing was that do points determine invites to the regional qualifier? Yes, as long as the team has a valid active roster. Teams can opt out of an invitation if, for example, they are disbanded and the roster isn't active. So, but like people were still invited to this first one, so I don't really know what the difference is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like, what's the difference between inviting your like Liquid to a qualifier versus inviting, this new Secret or whatever, or like Secret even though they didn't play in the first one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is one of those. I don't know exactly what the solution is. I guess as a kind of a cop out answer, it seems a little ridiculous that all the tier 1 teams have to play in opens. I don't know that that's a necessity for this season to work.
Everyone didn't go through opens though, guys.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
guys are
mean.
acting
Like
as if
I think
everyone.
that's the key sticking point that needed to be fixed. But I don't know exactly how it's been calibrated.
Because like for this one, they directly invited a bunch of teams to the major qualifier and only did 2 open slots. So why, if they did it for the first major, wouldn't it make sense to allow these teams that are returning, that are super obviously good teams, to just come into the next one?
Yeah.
Rule says that if there is not enough team with points, Valve invite themselves. Oh, okay. Well, there won't be enough European teams next time anyway, then, right? Oh, wait. You get points now, don't you?
Points for what?
For qualifiers. Oh, God. This is going to be confusing. Uh,
Oh, is that
for
what you get 10 points
minors,
for qualifying now? Is that what that number is?
I think so.
I see. That does get confusing. Okay. Well,
Oh, wait. Do points dwindle down to the qualifiers or just if you actually get to the minor? I don't know. I haven't. I'd have to go back and reread the blog to answer all these questions.
well, it's weird. So, like, I'll switch to it here. If you look on Liquipedia, for example, this is the or South America qualifier for Chengdu, and you got the two teams that qualified in. You've got
Oh, there's the 10. I
this,
see
and
the
then the
10
tens at
points
the
now.
bottom.
Oh, okay.
So I think
yeah,
this
so
means that
just...
these 4 teams each get 10 DPC points, right?
Oh, okay. Then yeah, then they'll just follow their rule. There,
I
simple as
think
that.
that's
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what that 10 point is.
yeah.
So yeah, Secret and LGD, and then we'll have to play open qualifiers. So there you go.
Okay.
I mean, am I gonna get up in arms if Valve invites a secret stack? No, to
Yeah, I don't know.
be honest.
I think
But
it's probably a hard thing to have a perfect solution for, because there's always these weird, like, well, they kicked me and I didn't want to be kicked, and like there's a lot of specific cases that can come into effect, I think.
I would just increase the format for the next qualifier to automatically invite. I don't care. They'll probably just have to play in opens, and they'll win opens, and everything will be fine and dandy. And
It does mean the
they'll be all
opens are
salty.
probably going to bring in more viewers, I guess, right?
More viewers and more people are gonna join because everyone wants to play against you.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing in the world. It's annoying for those teams, but in terms of the ecosystem, yeah, it's a give. All right, bud. Well, I don't know if I have much else. Is there any other pressing news that we need to cover? Anything else we need to unpack?
Oh, what else is
The
there?
book's
Unpack in
out.
life.
You can buy it on Amazon.
Ah,
The ebook's
yes,
out.
the book.
You can also buy
How
that
has-
on Amazon.
Are you getting weird DMs about your book? Has anyone reached out to you that was mentioned in the book?
Not weird. Mostly positive. It's interesting that the most common reaction has been people saying it's really cool to read someone else's perspective about events that I was at or involved in. Like Charlie messaged me. He said he bought the book literally just to read about Dota Radio. And he DM'd me and said, like, it's kind of cool just to see, like, the way you interpreted those things when I was there. And obviously he has his own lens on things.
Yeah.
And like Shiver sort of said the same thing when she was reading the chapter about Star Ladder when she's in there. So that's good feedback for me. I haven't gotten any super negative ones of someone being like, dude, I can't believe you said that. That doesn't mean nobody feels that way. I haven't talked to LD or Gods about it, so I've been interpreting silence as a good thing.
Yeah.
I know Hotbid has read it. He gave me some pretty positive feedback, so I assume he's passed some of those notes along to the Davids. And if I haven't heard anything by now, then I feel pretty okay. I mean, I put a lot of effort into not making it good guys versus bad guys and just being as self-reflective as possible about shit that I fucked up and how that created a system of fucked upness that LD and Gods and everyone else were just trying to navigate. Everyone's doing the best they can, right? So that was my goal, and hopefully I hit that at least decently well. Unfortunately, more typos made it through than I would have liked. I've got a list of a good 20 things that need to be changed. The good thing is I think I can upload an amended version to Amazon. That'll be fine. But
okay.
the work that never ends, that was a little disappointing. One of my parents read it and said, "Hey, story was interesting, but tons of typos." Period. That was all the feedback I got back. I was like, man, that wasn't what I was hoping to hear. Thanks. I don't want to say which parent it was. It was just one of those tons of typos.
Damn.
Okay. Well,
That's
it took
savage,
me
dude.
4 years to make it, man. Just say it's good, please. But yeah, I'm glad it's out there. Now I just got to figure out how to get it in front of more people. I have this weird problem now, Trent, where sometimes I see something on Twitter of somebody complaining about an issue, and I just want to link them a chapter of my book where I'm like, seriously, I think this would resonate with you so much, but I don't want to be that guy. I don't want my Twitter
No,
feed.
you should definitely start doing that.
Just replying
That
to people
sounds
like,
amazing.
hey, I see you're having a problem here. You should check out chapter 15 about tournaments. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Oh yeah, someone just mentioned in chat. I was just reading that before I came down here that they there's a COD franchise opening up in NA.
Yeah.
They're basically just overwatching that shit because it's also Activision Blizzard, aka they've also scammed another 120 million or whatever out of people who are morons. Yeah, all their names got leaked in the code. What a classic. Was it the London Royal Ravens? That one made me laugh a little bit.
Jesus Christ. Did you see that Call of Duty Mobile also dropped? Supposedly it hit 100 million downloads already.
Yeah.
You know how insane that is? Something like PUBG Mobile has something like 22 million downloads globally, some shit like that. That's
makes sense.
Nuts. I mean, Call of Duty's huge, but
COD Day, I heard it's really fun apparently. So there you go.
Really?
Yeah, I heard it's legitimately a very fun game to play. But I just don't play mobile games.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I follow some of the mobile casters on Twitter, partially because it makes me laugh and how biased they are. They think PC games are going to die tomorrow and mobile is the only future for gaming. And
I'm sure this is the future of high competitive Yeah,
I,
give me a fucking
you know,
break.
it's like I'm into mobile gaming, but you got to recognize it
Yeah.
exists because of accessibility. It's because people have phones already, so they're using their device more efficiently to
They're not
play
going to start
games.
playing basketball in boxing gloves just because it looks funnier.
Yeah, it's not.
Like,
It isn't ever gonna. I don't. It's gonna take a long time for this to replace PC gaming, just in terms of input controls, dude. Like you can't. You need devices to be able to be really accurate. The whole fucking finger on your screen thing doesn't work. Also, ergonomics is a whole thing. You can play Dota
oh yeah, dude.
10
Oh my
hours a
god, it's
day
like
and stretch and like
I can't even handle a flight looking at my phone
yeah,
playing
dude.
some game.
Like your thumbs are going to fall off by the time you're 40 if you're a professional mobile gamer. I really think ergonomics is going to be one of the biggest bottlenecks with quote professional mobile gaming. It's designed to be casual, limited use,
Yeah.
1 to 2 hours a day at most. You know, it's not.
PC won't get replaced unless we get some crazy hand things that can do a bunch of inputs at once.
Mhm.
With VR, and then after that it'll just be brain linkage. That's like the only other thing that's gonna beat keyboard and mouse.
Mhm.
Like thinking your controls. That's definitely the next leap.
Dude, the neural link. Oh man, that's
Neuralink gaming would be fucking hype as hell. Can you imagine Neuralink VR?
Well, yeah, dog. I used to feel that way till I saw that horror Black Mirror episode. You remember that one?
Horror? You mean where they're boning the whole time?
No, not that one. The one where the guy,
Oh.
the guy is he's like wants to work for the dev and it's a horror game and he tries it out and he's like in the mansion.
Oh.
And then they fucking fry his brain because they overload the neural link with too much stimulation and he just turns into a fucking vegetable. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like fun. But yes,
stuff.
I did also enjoy striking vipers. I would like to have VR for boning. That sounds potentially awesome. That episode had some holes in it. I'm just saying.
I have to say that was pretty fucking funny. That was like my favorite part of that whole hub.
What? It was because it was like after our shift that ended at like 8 in the morning
Yeah,
or
dude.
whatever. So there's
Because
this.
we're delirious watching Striking Vipers with Rob while the entirety of the BTS staff is coming with their morning coffee.
Yeah, dude, there's just like this shift of 10 people. They're like, yo, I'm just here to work in the studio. I think they had 2 interns there that day. It was literally their first day on the job. And they're just like trying not to get distracted, but they can't help but stand. Every time I looked around, there's like this peanut gallery of like, what the fuck is going on over here? That was great. That felt like sabotage from within, you know?
Yeah, I definitely want to do that again soon. That was so much fun. I love going to the summit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love BTS. That office is so sick. It's such a good environment. It is a good time.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. Their facility
Yeah.
is top 10.
Are you gonna stop by, see the boys when you're there?
That's
Or no
a
time?
good question. I was thinking about it. It's a good like 2-hour haul to get into LA from the desert, but might be
yeah,
worth.
it's
I
a bit rough.
need to shoot Robbie a text and see what's going
It's
on.
probably worth.
Yeah, dude, I could
Yeah.
hook up with the OWL boys. Dude, I could hit up Bren, see what's going on.
Are they still there?
I'm not sure. I know my friend Seth and Wolf went back to Korea, but I think some of them are still hanging around. I can't remember. I had Ping Monty. I can't remember.
I think they all moved because
Yeah, you might be right.
their old stadium, they're not using the old facility anymore or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. I saw a lot of them had moved, but I'm not sure what the deal is.
Yeah, me neither. I can't keep up with it, dude. All I know is that we beat OWL in viewer minutes when the beginning of Midas Mode 2 was on.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I think it's partially because our broadcasts are longer than OWL. I think.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So like the real
Well, especially
metric.
because I heard they had a 4-0 final or something.
Oh, really? Well, that'll also
Yeah.
do it. So maybe it was just some bad data collection, but the viewer metric that everybody's getting all hot and bothered by now is viewer minutes divided by hours broadcast. It's called AAC, and I forget what that stands for. Average aggregate concurrence or some shit. I just made that up, but I think it's either AAC or ACC. But that little metric is supposed to be like a great unified number that really tells the story of like how engaging is your content. So
Yeah.
the raw viewer minutes are misleading because it's not normalized for how long the broadcast is. So honestly, beating OWL might not be that impressive if we were broadcasting like 50% more hours than they were. I mean, yeah, cool. You made a lot more content. Congratulations. But still, seeing it on that little chart made me feel
Still
good.
got him.
Still felt, yeah, got him.
Yeah.
So, All right, man. I think I'm out of it. I got to go pack and get prepared before
Yeah.
a little vacay, man. Birthday
All right,
time.
well, enjoy your birthday. That should be fun.
Well, thanks, bud. Enjoy
Yeah.
being a father in starting to get cold Canada.
Yeah. I have to clean out the beautiful room. The fireplace is coming back on. It's
Dude,
nice.
we turned
I
on the
love
heat
fireplace.
yesterday for the first time this year. I had to break down and do it.
Yeah, we had to turn ours on the other day too.
I think first snow is scheduled for later this week. Yeah. Eh.
Okay.
All right, gang. Well, you know where this is going to be. YouTube.com/MoonducktV, Zyori.tv for the audio only. It is also on Spotify now, so you just search Trent Zyori, and it'll pop right up there. Probably pops up if you type in Dota as well. Again, thank you to Rivalry. They make this possible. Rivalry.com. They've got all of your betting action covered for any esports needs you might have, but we're done. We'll see you next time. Enjoy yourselves, boys and girls. We'll see you later.
Woo.